Hello, and welcome to your daily oracle reading for Thursday, January 30th, 2020. I'm Linda the Lightworker. I'm a shamanic practitioner, an oracle reader. I'm your full service shaman. I connect with spirits and what else do I do? I do all kinds of things. So listen, if you're having trouble making a decision in your life, or you'd like a second opinion, or you're doing some personal growth and transformation, consider booking an appointment with me. I do have time slots available on Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you. All my information is down below in the descriptions. You can check me out at lindathellightworker@gmail.com or email me there, or you can check out my website, lindathelightworker.com, and I'll get back to you just as soon as I can, usually within 24 hours or less, and get you scheduled in. So I look forward to hearing from you. Let's jump into the cards. So today our first card is the Seven of Wands, and the Seven of Wands, the wand suit, is the minor arcana, and the first suit, minor suit, and it identifies with, especially with the fire signs. So that's Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So anyone who has fire in their chart, this reading will be especially true for you, but this is a general reading intended for everyone who's going through whatever they're going through right now, to helping them stay focused on living a healthy life and sticking to their goals day by day. So the Seven of Wands. Well, we have this powerful woman here. I think it's a woman, kind of androgynous there. And she's got this X out, like boundaries, like really making a clear boundary. But what she's doing, it also looks like she's kind of making like a barrier as well. And this card is all about courage. She's very strong. This is happening in the night sky, all these lights around her. So what's this card about? It's about courage. It's about retreat. You know, sometimes we're headed on a new decision, or we're moving in one direction, and Spirit says, no, 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 that is not the way to go. It's time to retreat and go into another direction. Well, retreat sometimes feels like failure, but it's not. It is having courage and wisdom to know that you're moving in the wrong direction. So this can be a situation with you, could be a treatment plan. It could be new friendships. It could be old friendships that aren't working out anymore. They're not getting you. They're not where you are. They're not meeting you where you are. And you need to have a little courage, put up a boundary, or retreat from the situation. It really depends on, perhaps it's a client. This is really tricky. Sometimes we have clients who we're working with who drain us, and it might be time for you to retreat from that, working with this one person. I mean, is it worth the money that they're paying you if they're draining you? So that's really a good question of really being clear about what you're retreating from. And I'm also hearing the story of George Washington with this retreat, this retreat plan. This is about laying a plan of retreat. That's it. Of having the courage to lay your plan. Where is your retreat? What is your retreat? So it can be a personal retreat, or it could be an actual retreat. And I hear someone saying, well, what about George Washington? Well, I'm a former New York City tour guide, okay? And I'm hearing the story of the Revolutionary War. This was in 1777, I think, when the British were still invading. You know, we made declaration of independence, but we still had to fight for it. There was still war going on, and the rebels were kind of small compared to the British Army. If you didn't know, the Brits loved to go in and conquer everywhere, and that's what they were doing in the United States when we emigrated over there. When they did, I'm not British, whatever, keep going. So George Washington and his troops, there were about 10,000 of them. They were on Brooklyn. They were on Long Island. And the British were sailing in, and they were taking over Long Island. And the British were coming up the East River, or they were approaching the Hudson River and the East River, and that huge body of water that bridges before Manhattan. And George Washington had already lost about 1,000 men, and they knew they were outnumbered. They had to get off of Long Island, and they wanted to get onto Manhattan Island so they could go further north and then reach other rebels in other areas and continue the war. So they had to retreat. They had to retreat from Brooklyn onto Manhattan Island, but the British ships were sailing in. So they concocted a plan of retreat during the night that 9,000 of them, I mean, not just, you have to think about like war in those days. They didn't have like these helicopters airlifting supplies in. They carried everything with them, their tents, their muskets, their horses, their food, their bedding. I mean, they slept in, I mean, they carried everything. And they had to use these long boats that went in the middle of the night, right in that area where the Brooklyn Bridge is, from Brooklyn across to Manhattan Island. Now, and this, you know, it wasn't populated back then, really. I mean, there were some people living there, but, you know, to use these longboats in the middle of the night, and they were 600 feet away from the British ships, so they had to be silent. I know this story is really long. I'm sorry I'm going on, but it is about you concocting a plan that you might have to retreat silently in night, or to create your plan of what is your courage. They had such courage in retreating. All of Washington's men, all the horses, all the supplies, they got across in the middle of the night because they had bad weather for the big ships. They couldn't sail in, so they stayed anchor out in the harbor, and they didn't see them because a dense fog rolled in. It was like all of this universal stuff came together so they could retreat. And that's what I'm saying for you. They had to have courage to do their personal retreat. So it's as important as capturing Manhattan. I mean, they just went north. They didn't capture it, but... So I went to the Denise Linn Sacred Travelers deck, and we get the Ascending the Mountains. So we're going on a big climb here. So with your retreat, you might have to do some steps. It says, keep going forward. That's it with Washington and his whole story. They had to keep going forward. They made that decision, and then they kept pushing forward. They had to go, go, go. Stay at it. Stay calm. Stay on path. You might have to go up a mountain or two, but you will get there. You're going to have clear vision when you reach the top of that mountain. So go slowly and use your pace, and make sure you're really laying a clear plan for you, right? Okay, so I went to my Divine Action card deck, and we got 2 cards for you today. The first one is to follow your intuition, and that's about coming up with your courageous plan of how you're going to keep moving forward. Follow your intuition. And then the very powerful, have compassion for yourself. How do I do that? Have compassion for yourself. Ask your inner voice to talk to you as your best friend, or someone who's absolutely loves you the most. And go in with that love. It always gets me because I can remember not too long ago, I'm a crier, you know that by now, of having some dark moments with my life, and having one of my soul sisters say to me in the most beautiful way, can you please just look at yourself through my eyes and how much I love you? And boy, did I feel that love. I mean, I can still feel it. And she's such a great connector for me, a wonderful soul sister. And she reminded me about that deep compassion for ourselves. And be easy with yourselves. I'm sorry. I'm a crier. You know that, though. All right, my dear. Well, I'm so grateful you stopped by. I would call this a brass panty day, ladies. If you want to just like imagine yourself just putting on your strength and just keep going forward. You got it. You got it. You may need a retreat, or you may just need a treat. All right, my dear. It's going to be okay today. You got this. If Washington could get 9,000 men, no less, organized and silent to cross the Hudson River or the East River in the middle of the night, then I know you can do this. Okay. I hope you know how much I love you and how grateful I am that you stopped by my little channel. And if you're new here, I'd appreciate you becoming a subscriber, or maybe you want to share my videos with somebody who might feel a little uplifted for whatever they're going through. Okay, I love you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.